Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Basically, every time we get a major update in Call of Duty, one that actually requires you to go through and download a bunch of stuff, there is a lot more to that update than you might initially think. Sure, if it's a content update like the launch of a new season or a mid-season update, then yes, it'll add in the new weapons and modes and operators and maps and whatever else, right? Other times it'll just be like patch note based where they add in weapon changes and stuff. But typically every single time we have a major download in Call of Duty, those updates are also adding in future stuff to the game files. So references to upcoming modes or maps or other pieces of content, weapons, operators, everything like that. And that's exactly what happened here with the major Season 1 update within Black Ops 6 and Warzone, as we now have a bunch of new leaks that stemmed from that update in regards to some pretty cool and pretty fun updates that could potentially be happening here in the next few seasons of Warzone and BO6. Now, of course, as always, leaks at the end of the day are just leaks. They are not official by any means, so take everything that we're about to break down here today with a grain of salt. Things could be altered, scrapped, or entirely removed, at any point in time until it is official from Call of Duty. They make a post, it's in a blog, we cover it in a video officially. All of this here is technically unconfirmed, but oftentimes the game files are pretty accurate when it comes to what some of the future updates are going to be. Now, the vast majority of this information here is stemming from Semtex Leaks over on Twitter. We've talked about them a lot in the past. If you're an active viewer here on the channel, of course, I'm sure you've heard their name before, but the first big leak that we have here is actually in regards to some future Warzone content updates. So obviously just a few days back, we saw the return of Rebirth. That's now back into the resurgence rotation with that in Area 99. Then Battle Royale is just Urzikstan, but it seems like at some point in the future, it could be season 2, 3, 4, 5, no real ETA for this. We are going to see the map pool extend even more with the return of Vondel and Fortune's Keep. Curiously enough, absolutely no mention of Ashika whatsoever, but obviously that being one of the recent resurgence maps that we've been playing on in the past couple of years, I found it kind of interesting that according to the game files right now and all the data mined info, there's only references to Vondel returning as a resurgence map and then Fortune's Keep returning as a resurgence map. Quite frankly, I'd be very curious to see how each of those would play with Omni movement. Obviously, Vondel is a lot more like world and environment based with all the buildings, the climbing, the ledges, everything going on with the buildings. I feel like Omni movement could actually play really, really well on that map. And then Fortune's Keep even as well could be decently different from what we've experienced with that before. But it does appear that at some point in time, we may have a resurgence rotation that features Vondel, Fortune's Keep, Area 99, and Rebirth. Maybe all at once. Maybe they're going to split it up. For 2 weeks we have 2 of those maps, for another 2 weeks we have the other 2. I'm sure they're going to have plenty of angry players when your favorite resurgence map ends up getting replaced by one of the other ones potentially, but it does appear that the map rotation is going to be expanding at some point here in the future. Still curious as to why they don't end up doing this with big maps at all, having potentially all Mazrah on rotation with Urzikstan, or once Verdansk ends up releasing in the spring, maybe we see a mix of Verdansk and Urzikstan and it's going back and forth there. Really curious to see if we ever potentially get something going on with actual Battle Royale and big map rotation at some point down the road. But yeah, some more resurgence maps should be returning in the future. We also have a ton, and I mean quite literally a ton, of multiplayer modes that have been leaked. Even some Warzone modes in here as well for future updates. Now, some of these are a bit more self-explanatory, either based on the fact that we've had them before or their names kind of tease something with it. Other ones, though, are very ambiguous. We have absolutely no clue what could be going on with those. But initially here, the Clash LTM for Warzone has been found in the files. Obviously, we've had Clash a couple of times in the past. Definitely a bit more of a casual mode, but I mean, especially this year with like all the Warzone camos, playing 52 versus 52 or whatever player count they end up being. It's basically big team versus big team. That could actually be a pretty efficient mode for going through and getting some camo challenges done in Warzone. So would be pretty cool to see Clash return there in the future as a new LTM. Fireteam has also been referenced in the files yet again for Black Ops 6 multiplayer. Obviously, this is a bit more of a large scale mode played on some larger maps too, so I'd be curious to see what they would do for potential maps with this. Obviously, a lot of the Black Ops 6 multiplayer maps are small or medium in size. Fireteam was played on parts of what was supposed to be the Ural Mountains Warzone map way back in Cold War, so maybe they'd switch that over to potentially Area 99. Maybe we'd have cut down versions of Avalon on, even, since that seems to be fully finished and no idea why it's not releasing, you know, a year earlier than it's supposed to, right? Really would be interested in seeing how they'd approach that, but Fireteam has been referenced in the files a lot. Perhaps that's just the case of maybe it's leftover files, stuff that's just hanging around there that's going to be scrapped eventually. Maybe it truly is referencing a larger update coming to Black Ops 6 in the future. Of course, as we're going through all these leaks, it's possible that in the coming days, weeks, and even seasons, we get the official announcements and reveals for these modes and for these upcoming other leaks. And if that's the case, you guys know I'll be covering all that stuff officially here as it happens right away. So if you want to guarantee you are always in the know for everything going on in COD, whether it is news and updates, leaks and rumors, meta breakdowns, it's all right here. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and if you enjoy this video, a like rating is always seriously appreciated as well. But anyways, continuing on with some more mode leaks for BO6. We're getting into some of them that are a lot more ambiguous. We just don't know what these could fully be based on the name alone. There is supposedly a hijack mode that's going to be coming. No real details on what that could actually be, though, in terms of 6v6 gameplay. Could it be for 10v10 even at some point? There's also a mode called More Battles. Again, not totally sure what's going on there. If it's going to be maybe like longer modes, like what in Vanguard, I can't remember the exact name of it, but the modes have just basically lasted longer. Perhaps that's what it's going to be like there. We also have Rogue Rounds. Again, not really too sure on the details there, but it's a leaked mode nonetheless. Sugar Rush. Part of me wonders if this maybe is going to be like Cranked, but for Black Ops, where if you get a kill, you get like the increased speed boost and like you're running around hyped up on sugar or something like that, right? So maybe that'll be a mode similar to that, just simply guessing there. There's also Tag Trap. Again, no clue what that could end up being in terms of details. War Games, which to me almost sounds like it'd be something based around potentially larger team-based stuff as well, similar to maybe Fireteam there. So unfortunately, a lot of really interesting names, but no real details to go along with them there. Now, while most of the leaks today, as mentioned, are stemming from Semtex leaks and various different data miners on Twitter, the game itself, Black Ops 6, actually accidentally ended up leaking an upcoming event, and that is the festive event or the holiday event for this year with Archie's Festive Frenzy. In Warzone right now, some of the perks are locked, and they say they're only obtainable through Archie's Festive Frenzy event. So we can expect that to happen at some point here, probably in the next few weeks leading up to Christmas and New Year's. Another really interesting leak that surfaced is actually in regards to the Prestige Master Level 1000 reward. For this, apparently the operator skin that you're going to end up unlocking for this is Samuels from Black Ops 2. And as you may recall, a lot of the leaks for COD 2025 say that the game is going to be based around the events of Black Ops 2, potentially a sort of either sequel to Black Ops 2 or a continuation of that story, or potentially some kind of remaster or remake of Black Ops 2. So the fact that the Prestige Master Level 1000 skin is actually a Black Ops 2 reference, I think adds a lot of credibility to those leaks surrounding the story and the plot and the setting of that game. And then lastly, here we do have one new leak for zombies that was found in the files. Apparently, the Frozen Blast upgrade for zombies has been found in the files, but it's referenced for Season 3, which would then indicate that the next time we're going to see a new zombies map after Season 1 would actually be Season 3 and not in Season 2. They did say, I think they have them dropping periodically throughout seasons throughout the years, so it's not necessarily a guarantee that every single season is going to see a new zombies map. So maybe a bit further out than some people were hoping. Obviously, we've got our next one coming with Season 1 Reloaded initially, but then beyond that, it'll basically be a season and a half before we see the 4th round-based zombies map introduced, at least going off of the leaked info so far. But all that being said, those are some of the new major leaks that we've got for Black Ops 6 and Warzone. That's going to wrap things up. If you enjoyed the video, a like on your way out would be seriously appreciated. And if you want to guarantee you are always in the know for everything going on in COD, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join us on the road to 1 million subs. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.